And a warm welcome to the program. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Our focus is on the Northwest region today, but first, our top stories. President Bola Tinubu has some of his healthcare needs met here in Nigeria and also deserves to rest when he chooses. That's the view of the Minister of State on Health, Dr. Tunji Alausa, who was a guest on our breakfast show, The Morning Brief. This comes on the heels of the president's non-return to the country following his trip to Saudi Arabia. The Minister of State added that funds are being channeled into the expansion of primary healthcare centers as part of plans to raise the bar in the healthcare sector.
We're developing an healthcare system for Nigerians, not the president. We have 220 million Nigerians, and that's what the president wants. We need to ensure that every single citizen of this country get, whenever they walk into our primary care centers, hospitals, get very good care. So that's what we're working on. We're not developing an healthcare system for Mr. President. And I'll tell you, I'm not the personal physician of Mr. President. Mr. President has his personal physician. I work at the mercy of the president as one of the superintending ministers at the Ministry of Health. We have clear guidelines on what the president wants us to do to improve the healthcare system of the country. And that's what we're doing. The president has given us full, maximum support in getting this job done. And things are beginning to get better. And I will even now directly and frontally ask your question, is that healthcare developed to where the president can get his care in Nigeria? Yes. And I'll repeat, the president is getting some of his care in Nigeria. If you talk to the personal physician of the president, he's at liberty to tell you what the intricacies of what the president is doing. We have a president that is well, that is healthy, that is leading our country in the right direction.
Meanwhile, the federal government has re-emphasized its commitment to strengthen the ability to fight re-emerging infectious diseases. The coordinating Minister of Health, Professor Ali Pate, made the remarks at the opening ceremony of the National Dialogue on Nigeria's Pandemic Fund application. The Pandemic Fund is a collaborative partnership amongst donor countries, co-investor countries, and civil society organizations, including 13 implementing entities.
We all have a responsibility to help notify when illnesses occur, and the health system at all levels to help detect quickly, mobilize our frontline health workers to know how best to respond, how best to engage communities, and for government at all levels to also provide contingent financing available so that when an outbreak occurs, there is an early response. Because outbreaks happen before an epidemic, before you get to a pandemic. So let's sort of prevent it. It's an answer, prevention is better than cure. The application process is ongoing right now. It's in the context of our sector-wide program. There are different strands of funding. The government also is investing in this effort through different channels. State governments are investing in it, and the pandemic fund application is now underway so that when it's approved, we will have a sense of what the pandemic fund's contribution, but it's not the only contribution. We are not relying entirely on external financing for what is our own health security. Nobody should deceive themselves that somebody from outside the country will need to pay for you to protect your own home. Nigeria's health security is our business, and government, under the leadership of the president, is very committed for Nigerian government, the federal government, to stand up, and we are standing up.
The River State government has announced a 20-day lineup of activities to mark Governor Sim Fubara's first year in office. The event will kick off on May the 14th with the commissioning of the Old Bori Road, providing an alternative route to the LMA axis on the East-West Road. Other landmark projects set for inauguration is the Andoni section of the Unity Road, abandoned for 20 years, as well as the second phase of the Trans-Calabari Road. There will also be an economic summit, the launch of a youth empowerment program, introduction of a state-sponsored marathon, and a day of accountability and stewardship. Staying in River State, where 7 maritime travelers have been kidnapped along One River. Our correspondent learned that the incident occurred early on Monday morning as some of the travelers set out to Port Harcourt by boat. Confirming the incident, the public relations officer of the River State Police Command, Grace Iringe Koko, says a boat carrying 20 passengers from Bonny to One was intercepted by sea pirates along the One River. It's not yet clear if the 7 victims were specifically targeted or randomly picked. However, the State Police Command says they are investigating and will provide further information regarding the incident. Two people have been reportedly confirmed killed and 18 others kidnapped by terrorists in Gefe community, Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State. A resident who confirmed the incident today said the terrorists invaded the village on foot on Monday morning at around 1 a.m. He disclosed that since November last year, terrorists have been constantly disturbing the people of Gefe community, and they cannot recount the money spent as regards to ransom paid. Armed bandits early today stormed Gusau, the Zamfara state capital, and kidnapped the manager of Taj Bank, Gusau branch, Mansur Kaura, at his residence. A source to the manager, but pleaded to remain anonymous for security reasons, told Channels Television that the bandits invaded his house located at Gidandari bypass around 12 a.m. today and whisked him away to an unknown destination. The spokesperson of the Zamfara State Police Command, Yazid Abubakar, who also confirmed the incident, says a team of police tactical operatives from the State Command are currently on the trail of the kidnappers with a view of rescuing the victim. The Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal's hosting of participants of the Executive Intelligence Management course of the Nigerian Institute of Security Studies takes on added significance given the theme of the course, that's Artificial Intelligence, Security and Emerging Economies in Africa, Challenges and Prospects. Against the backdrop of increasing security threats and the rapid advancement of technology, especially in the area of artificial intelligence, the participants are in Zamfara State on a study tour to explore the potentials of artificial intelligence in enhancing governance, security, education, and agriculture in the state.
Thank you very much.
The Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal's hosting of participants of the Executive Intelligence Management course of the Nigeria Institute of Security Studies takes on added significance given the theme of the course, Artificial Intelligence, Security and Emerging Economies in Africa, Challenges and Prospects. Against the backdrop of increasing security threats and the rapid advancement of technology, particularly in the area of artificial intelligence, the participants are in Zamfara State on a study tour to explore the potential of artificial intelligence in enhancing governance, security, education, and agriculture in the state.
Only a few days ago, in faraway United States of America, Your Excellency advocated the use of technology to fight insecurity. We are witnesses to how artificial intelligence revolution is transforming every facet of our lives and impacting every sector, be it governance, economy, entertainment, the private environment, etc. The participants would be exposed to the ways and manners AI is deployed in enhancing governance, security, education, agriculture, etc. in Zamfara State, and learn from her perspectives.
Host Governor Dauda Lawal believes leveraging artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies will improve the chances of tackling the complex security challenges facing Zamfara State. He says the government's efforts are yielding successes by blocking the terrorist fuel supplies and other logistics chain to their enclaves.
You are touring Zamfara State at a time when we are a frontline state, battling also with violent crimes of banditry as well as kidnapping for ransom. However, the Zamfara State government under my watch is committed and determined by the grace of Allah to combat these challenges in spite of our limitations. We also sustain logistical support to security agencies to execute their respective mandates. This has yielded success as seen in the dislodgement of several bandit hideouts across the state through clearance operations by both the ground troops and the air component.
What do you want armed forces?
Governor Lawal also reiterates his commitment to embracing innovation to tackle insecurity, such as artificial intelligence being explored by participants of the Executive Intelligence Management course.
The commandant of the Nigerian Defense Academy, Major General John Ochai, has called on the Federal Ministry of Sports and Youth Development to integrate military personnel into their sporting programs in order to build their capacity, physical well-being, and get them ready to fight insurgency. The commandant made the appeal during the 2024 edition of the NDA Cadets Bridge Inter-Battalion Sports Week in Kaduna State, where he noted that the military and sports share the same aspiration for excellence. On his part, the Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Eno, describes the Nigerian Armed Forces as a shining light of the nation's sports progress and development.
Commander Operation Wellstock, ably represented.
This competition is designed to build physical endurance in cadets, develop their leadership capabilities, while also engendering team spirit as well as spirit of sportsmanship. The 4-day competition was put together to build resilience against the backdrop of contemporary and emerging security threats, with regular combatants cadets of the academy competing for laurels in various sports, including football, combat games, thug of war, athletics, among others.
Sports and the military, we have one thing in common, in that both sectors of our national life strive for excellence. In the sporting world, you select the best if you want to achieve victory. So also is in the military. When we are preparing for operations or training, we don't give consideration to your race, color, ethnic group, or gender. So also in sports.
Minister of Sports Development describes the armed forces as one of the strongest pillars of the nation's sports development, noting that most of the country's international laurels in sports were achieved by military personnel.
Sports has become a sector and an instrument where countries get either more respect or less respect amongst the Committee of Nations. Sporting events and competitions have become for countries that have seen the importance of what sports can achieve, a measure of international recognition and respect. And I think that if we know so, there is no reason why we mustn't do everything that we can to continue to promote sports amongst our people.
The athletes participating in the competition were drawn from Mogadishu, Dale, Boma, and Abyssinia battalions.
Welcome back. Joining us to discuss how artificial intelligence can help in the security of the nation, especially when we look at the Northwest region, which is our focus today. We are being joined by an AI and supply chain expert. Mr. Salisu Uba joins us from Scotland. A pleasure having you with us on the program.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to join you this afternoon.
Now, how can AI-powered surveillance systems be utilized to detect and prevent criminal activities such as banditry and kidnapping in the Northwest region?
Right. First of all, AI is a multi-purpose technology. It can be applied across many sectors, including tackling insecurity, obviously in Nigeria, precisely the northwest and perhaps northeast part of Nigeria. So what happened is that we have to look at the root cause of how we find ourselves in this particular situation. And I believe one of the areas perhaps where AI can make huge difference in terms of not just being reactive, but being proactive is ensuring that, number one, human capital development. There is a lot of untapped talent in Africa or in Nigeria precisely, and use of modular, simple tools to educate people, right, to equip them with the necessary skills and information will really make a huge difference. Second aspect is around business and economic activities. And I believe one of the fundamental issues around insecurity is lack.
We appear to be having a technical hitch there. We'll try and re-establish contact with Mr. Salisu over. Let's go to another story now. Following the decision by the Kaduna State House of Assembly to investigate the financial dealings and liabilities of the administration of former Governor Nasiru El-Rufai, the ad hoc committee set up by the House to investigate the issue has commenced fact-finding clarification sessions. During the commencement of the sitting held behind closed doors at the House of Assembly complex in Kaduna, the committee engaged in detailed discussions with several key and past government officials, especially those who served under the El-Rufai administration between May the 29th, 2015 to May the 29th, 2023. The session provided valuable insights into various aspects of government operations, with the principal actors shedding more light on critical areas for scrutiny and improvement.
We've reached a stage where today we have invited some key persons that we deem it necessary to have them interviewed so we can get testimonies as to aid us get to an appropriate conclusion so that we can give a justified report of our committee.
The National Agency for the Great Green Walls has held a meeting in Kano State with the team building multi-stakeholders responsiveness in the implementation of the Green Wall program in Nigeria. The three-day forum, which had participants from across the Northwest, seeks to address issues affecting land degradation, livelihood improvement, and poverty reduction in the affected communities. Our correspondent Nanchin Vincent has this report.
Green walls in Kano metropolis, as the agency recognizes that all hands must be on deck to rekindle synergy in facilitating strategies in combating land degradation, livelihood, and reducing poverty in affected communities. A director from the Great Green Walls believes this engagement with stakeholders will be more impactful in achieving the mandate of desertification and deforestation.
You realize that all the effort made in the past have not been having enough, enough impact. It is partly because the involvement of stakeholders has not been there. So what we are trying to do now is to bring all the stakeholders together, join forces in order for us to do it better than the way we are doing it. You know that without the stakeholders, there's no way we can make headways. In the past, we'll go to these frontline states, the rural areas, and carry out the implementation of our project and program without them keying in. But we realize that, if we do that, we'll continue to fail. So the best way to do it now is to bring them together, let them key in, let them buy in, let them own the projects we are doing in their localities. And that is basically what we are doing today.
Participants have promised to be a part of the implementation of the Great Green Wall program in their communities.
When we look at the person with disability, are the most affected group in our community as a result of climate change.
So much of the problems of climate change and the heat waves that we are experiencing are as a result of the trees that are being cut every day, which people are using either as for cooking or other uses at home. And there hasn't been really any rigorous intervention or mechanism that addresses this particular negative practice.
The African quest to respond to the challenge of climate change, particularly desertification, land degradation, and livelihood of affected communities, gave rise to the setting up of the Great Green Wall Sahara Safely initiative. From Kano Commercial City, Nanchin Vincent, Channels Television News.
Staying in Kano State, in a bid to prioritize the health and well-being of future generations, the governor, Mr. Abba Yusuf, has signed the premarital health screening law, making it compulsory for all prospective couples to undergo health screenings before marriage. The law, which was officially signed on May the 6th and set to come into effect on May the 13th, requires couples to present health screening certificates for genotype, hepatitis B and C, HIV/AIDS, and other related illnesses before they can legally wed in the state. Governor Yusuf emphasized the importance of the law, stating that the purpose of implementing the law is to uphold the sanctity of marriages and ensure the birth of healthy children. It also aims to eliminate the discrimination or stigmatization against individuals living with HIV and AIDS, sickle cell, anemia, hepatitis, and other related conditions. The Katsina state government has restated its commitment to promote its cultural heritage and tradition, aimed at not only making them more interesting, but also attract tourism and, in other words, generating more revenue for the state. The Commissioner for Information and Culture, Dr. Bala Zango, disclosed this to journalists on the sidelines of the third season of the Dambe Warriors Circuit Fight 11 competition, also known as traditional boxing, at the Katsina Open Air Theatre. According to the Commissioner, the government is ready to organize interlocal government traditional boxing competition.
It's a very good development because Katsina State actually is a culture-friendly state, and actually the Ministry of Information and Culture is committed to promote our cultural heritage. You can see the performance of this Dambe traditional boxing, how it's being performed now is very interesting, it's looking good and looking fine. Actually, we are going to partner with these Dambe warriors to make Dambe to build the performance actually more interesting in Katsina State, and we even want to promote it, and we partner with this organization so that we can promote the cultural heritage and even to be a tourist center so that people will come around the world to watch this Dambe here in Katsina. Because actually we have the best arena in the country. You can see the site. It's very interesting and very conducive for this traditional boxing Dambe. And actually, like what I said, Katsina State is interested in promoting our cultural heritage, particularly this Dambe traditional boxing.
We've been able to reestablish contact with Mr. Salisu Uba, an AI and supply chain expert. Now, Mr. Uba, because of time, can you just quickly tell us what role AI can play in analyzing large volumes of data, such as social media posts and what have you? Okay, we sincerely apologize. We appear to have lost contact with Mr. Uba. The Kebbi State government has been commended for its efforts in preparing for the 2024 Hajj exercise. The National Commissioner for the Northwest at the National Hajj Commission, Sheikh Mohammed bin Uthman, praised the state government during his inspection of the Hajj camp. He noted that the camp, which has been renovated and furnished by the Kebbi State government, met the standards set by the National Hajj Commission. That's the program today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Melinda Akinwami.